Hey everyone, Mikey here. So sorry it's been so long since my last upload. I've just been dealing with some things with life and work, but okay, let's get to this. Last video I said I would either start doing uh, Ilona Andrews' Kate Daniels series or Seanan McGuire's October Daye series. I have decided to go with the Seanan McGuire's October Daye series. I've just finished rereading the book and will now tell you my thoughts on it. So, this is Rosemary and Rue by Seanan McGuire. So, my thoughts on the book is it does a phenomenal job of building the baseline, well, the foundation for the world, and what will come after and in this, this the next 12 books that they have out. They do plan on having more, so it is definitely a great foundation novel for the series. The first 2 to 3 books is building up on everything, and then everything starts picking up just around then and getting serious. So, I honestly did love the novel. I've always I've done my best to keep up on it whenever I can and I get the time. So, Rosemary and Rue, I will read the summary off the back to let you know what it is about. The world of fairy never disappeared. It merely went into hiding, continuing to exist parallel to our own. Secrecy is the key to fairy survival, but no secret can be kept forever. And when fae and mortal worlds collide, changelings are born, half human, half fae, outsiders from birth. These second-class children of fairy spend their lives fighting for respect of their immortal relations, or in case of October Toby Days, rejecting it completely. After getting burned by both sides of her heritage, Toby has denied the Fae world, retreating into a normal life. Unfortunately for her, Fairy has other ideas. The murder of Countess Evening Winterrose, one of the secret regents of the San Francisco Bay Area, pulls Toby back into the Fae world, unable to resist Evening's dying curse, which binds her to investigate. Toby is forced to resume her old position as knight errant to the Duke of Shadowed Hills and begin renewing old alliances that may prove her only hope of solving the mystery before the curse catches up with her. So, that is the summary of Rosemary and Rue. Now I will get into my thoughts of it and the characters. So, our main character is October Toby Daye. She is a Fae changeling, which means she is half human, half Fae. And starting in the events of the first chapter, Toby's investigating a case. She is a private investigator. This won't very much ruin the novel. It just gives you an idea of the position you'll find the character in the beginning. She is investigating a case and things go downhill. She ends up cursed and transformed into a fish. She manages to keep just enough of her intelligence to attempt to break the curse. It takes her 14 years to break it, and when she finally gets free, she has been she's been gone for 14 years. And when she finds her family, they believe that she abandoned them or ran away, which wasn't the case, but she never told her family who she was, so she couldn't tell them. So they shun her for that. And it breaks October. And because of that, she looks at the fairy world with, I don't want to say hate, but I'd say she dislikes it for what it cost her. So she stays away from it and hides from it, which will eventually lead into the events of the murder of Countess Evening Winterrose. Now, the series is an I want to say it's urban fantasy. It does a very great job of mixing the modern world with the fairy world, well, with the fantasy world, which some series might find a little bit hard, but they've done passably. This book is it is its own novel, but it's setting up what we know of the world. It's mostly just a foundation book. It's the next books in the series that really catch everything. It really start dragging you in. The first book is it opens the door. It's the other books that keep you in. So there will be a romantic interest. We don't get much in the first book. We will later on in the series. The magic system in this works through bloodlines. So magic works depending on your species of fairy. You'll have access to different kinds of magic. If you are what amounts to a donyoshi, which is, as they call it, blood workers, you deal with blood magic. And you might be able to drink some of someone's blood and know their past, or know their blood, or be able to smell their bloodline. Or you could be a type of fairy that I want to say it's Tilwatigue, are the ones that teleport and things of that nature. So depending on your species depends on what you can do. It is very influenced by Shakespeare and the way the lesser classes speak to people of higher classes. So it is very medieval in the way the fairy world works. What else? Yes. So October is a knight errant. It is actually October is the first changeling to receive knighthood, and it's a main component of the series that changelings are looked down upon by pureblood fairies because of their immortal blood. Because when a changeling is born, most aren't born with very much magic. They're born with enough to do some small charms, like being able to see through illusions or being able to cast illusions. Excuse me. Anyway, being able to cast illusions, or being able to make it so regular people won't see you. Then there is the big magics, like the blood magics or teleportation, but those are race specific. But even then, you might be weak in them, or you might not even have them at all. All right. So the magic system is very simple, but the things you can do in those categories is actually very complex, which I particularly like. It's a very simple and easy to understand magic system, but it has complexities in it for if you're willing to go into it. That describes the magic system. October is the only main character. we're introduced to a bunch of supporting characters that help October through the series. But in this book, yeah, she will be the main character. What else? All right. World building is done very well. We're introduced to the magic system, how that rudimentarily works. We're introduced to how the class system works in the beginning. We have the purebloods who are at the top. At the well, they're not at the top. The top of the pyramid is Oberon, Titania, and Maeve. Then we have below them are the firstborns. They're the progenitors of their species, the children of Oberon, Titania, and Maeve. And then we have the purebloods, the children of the firstborns, who are what make up the regulars. You have the nobles, which are normally a specific species of fairy who normally just end up being the rulers. Then you have the common fae, who are all pureborns, but they're just looked down upon because, for just regular reasons, them being unable to cast illusions or whatnot, being able to blend in with the regular world. What else? Then we have the changelings, who are at the bottom of the barrel. Changelings get no respect. October has had, and as you'll learn, has had to fight for every step she's gained. And even then, she's still looked down upon for being what she is. All right. That describes how the political system works. The mundane world is mixed in as a backdrop. It's not a main focus very much. Humans don't really know about the Fae. So it's more of they use cars to get around. They have it's more of just the setting. It doesn't majorly play a point in things. It's influenced by Shakespeare in some events, like the stories you'll hear for some of the fairies will follow the of some what if Shakespeare has written about. Okay. Yeah, so you'll notice like October will say some of her spells in ways they're written in Shakespeare. All right. That describes the world building, setting, magic. We only have October as our main character at the moment. The supporting characters. So they are fairly fleshed out for the most part. Yeah. Um, our supporting characters are mainly fleshed out. Like when you're introduced to them, you get a small little snippet of October will describe her relation to them. So you'll learn more about them as the series goes on, as books tend to work that way. Oh, antagonist. So we don't know who the antagonist is because it is a mystery in the book. Most of the series follows there is a mystery. October has to figure it out. Either someone was killed, something needs to be found, something was stolen, whatnot. That's the premise of what the series follows. But it always advances the story, or you learn something new about how magic can work. In this one, our mystery is the murder of Countess Evening Winterrose. The mystery is very well done. You don't really figure it out for the most part through most of the book. It's not like, oh, hey, who killed this person? And then you're just like, oh, easily that person did it. Actually, you Seanan McGuire does a very good job of surprising you with who's behind everything. Like, I didn't have a complete aha moment for a while. So that was very well done. Hmm. That describes the antagonist. It's and okay. I believe I've covered everything. I will rate this book as easily a 3.8. It is not. Actually, no. I will put it at a 4. It does great at world building and setting up the rest of the series, setting up events that'll lead that can be built upon later on. What else? It does very well with October's character. She is relatable, but at the same time, different in her viewpoints of how things should go. She's her own person, is what I want to say. The setting, it's used as a backdrop, so it's important for a story, but it's more used as to just flesh things out. So that's okay. Could have been done better, but it works. The antagonist, it's a mystery, so I'm not going to go too much into that. But I would say the antagonist is it's a good surprise. Now that solves that. So I do honestly do recommend this. I cannot recommend enough this book and the series as a whole. It is Seanan McGuire's October Daye. Daye written as Daye. The first book is Rosemary and Rue, as we've been discussing this whole time. And yeah, that will be it. So just like and subscribe, and leave any comments down below of what you felt I could do better, or any recommendations for series you have. And if you want to get any notifications, just click the bell. And that'll be all. Peace.